everyone, my name is Kayla. Welcome back to my channel. So today we have kind of a very interesting video, and that's because this is an original book tag that I just came up with a couple days ago. I went through it with a friend of mine to see what she thought of the tag, and you know what? It's a go. Let's go with this. So this is the Hate to Love Me book tag. Feel free to tag me in any time that you do this video and tell me about what you think about this tag. So there's 6 questions all together. And without further ado, let's get into it. So question number 1, a book trope you usually hate but like in this book. So this is going to go to the love triangle. So the love triangle is so overdone, especially in young adults. It's just a way to create tension without actually having any real tension in the book, or at least that's the way I feel. So Clockwork Angel is a spin-off series by Cassandra Clare. And the idea behind this was to look at the great-great-great-grandparents and the families within the London Institute rather than the New York Institute. And they're shadow hunters, and the idea behind that is that they protect the world from demons. There's a lot more to it than that. I definitely recommend the Clockwork Angel series. The City of Bones series doesn't hold up as well. I think that book came out in 08, 09 maybe. Doesn't hold up as well 15 years later, unfortunately. But I think it's worth a read to a certain extent. You know what I mean? Anyway, so we're talking about the love triangle. The love triangle sucks. I don't like it. It's not good. But in this book, in the Clockwork Angel book, I feel like it was done well, which is hard to do because, like I said, it's obviously used for attention purposes in lieu of any actual good writing or attention. So what I think was done well with this is that it was done more consensually, I guess. So the characters all actually liked each other, which kind of works out. If you look at it compared to Twilight, for example, there's that love triangle between Jacob, Edward, and Bella. And they don't like each other. It's that rivalry, oh, I gotta get the girl. Except in Clockwork Angel, it's oh no, you deserve her. Oh no, you deserve her. Oh, we both deserve her. Oh no, what do we do? That kind of thing. And it's not like infighting and alpha male type behavior, which is just really annoying. It's done really well. Number 2, an author's books you thought you'd hate but ended up loving. So I think this goes to Under the Dome by Stephen King. So Stephen King's books are a love and hate relationship with me because some of the books I really, really enjoy. Under the Dome was one of the ones I really enjoyed. So Under the Dome is about this small town that gets covered by a big glass, plastic, they don't know what kind of material it is, type dome. It cuts things in half. It's impenetrable. You can't get through it. It's the Simpsons movie actually took a lot from this book. And you kind of know the dynamics that were happening throughout that. You'll understand Under the Dome. But Under the Dome is a lot darker. It goes a lot deeper into the human psyche than The Simpsons does, obviously, because The Simpsons is more lighthearted than Stephen King books are. I actually do have another one of his books that I'm in the process of reading, and it's The Gunslinger. And I do want to read the Dark Tower series because I've heard really, really good things about it. There's a TV show coming out, I think. I know there's a movie, but the movie wasn't very good. Number 3, a series that gets better after the first book. So I'd say A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas, the ACOTAR series, which people usually call that. So this is an extremely, extremely popular fae, romance, erotica type, fantasy type thing. And it follows Feyre as she's trying to figure out how to provide for her family, and then she kills a wolf, and then she gets taken, kind of kidnapped, I guess, essentially, by this fairy lord named Tamlin, and they kind of live life together for a while. And I'm not going to spoil it if you haven't read it. It's a really good book. It is a really good book. I'm not going to sit here and pretend it's not. but it gets so much better after the first book. Because the thing about the first book is it's a debut, and I think by itself it would have like held up really well. But the problem is there's little things in the book that you don't notice until you read the second, third, and fourth book. And it's kind of interesting to see because there's things that you're just like, oh, that was kind of weird, but you're just like you just push it off because you're just like whatever. And then you think back to it, and you're like, oh, that was creepier than I thought it was, or oh, there's more context for this, so maybe that wasn't cool what he did there, or what she did there, or what all that kind of stuff. So it's really good, but like it gets better as the series goes along. I think my favorite book in the series is probably Nesta's book, The Court of Silver Flames. And that one's really, really good. So as I said, like it gets better and better. I hope there's more books in the series. I'm pretty sure there is, but they come out like every 2 or 3 years. So hopefully it comes out soon. Number 4, a character you start off hating but have grown to love. So I think this goes to Vin in the Final Empire series by Brandon Sanderson. So this series follows a group of people after the Dark Lord won. The main antagonist won and took over the world. And there's a ragtag group of people, like 500 years later, 1,000 years later, something like that, that are trying to bring him down. After he won, after he took over the world, after he did whatever the heck he wanted. And it's intense. But anyway, the character. So the character is the main character. Her name is Vin, I believe. I believe. If I'm wrong, I'll put it right here. And she starts off very like melodramatic, like my life sucks, everything's terrible. And then she learns she has these powers, and she learns to use them, but not very quickly. That's another pet peeve of mine. When somebody learns that they have powers and then they can use them the next day, and they're like the most powerful person of ever, like of all time. It's just annoying. But the thing that she kind of grew on me, like as the series progressed, because it's more about her trying to figure out how to move on from her terrible life and how to move on with her after something kind of terrible happens in the first book. I don't want to spoil it because there's like this one part where everyone's shocked when they read it, because I was shocked when I read it and I was like, how did this happen? I know it's kind of a spoiler to say something shocking happened, but at the same time, like, you should read it just for the shocking part. Number 5, a setting you hate except in one book. So for those of you who don't know, one of my biggest pet peeves as a setting is big cities. I do not like big cities. I don't understand the idea or the lore or the big deal about them. I've never lived in a big city. I've been to big cities a couple times and they're overwhelming. I don't like them. I don't want to be there. I just want to leave as soon as possible. And yeah. Like when I mean big cities, I mean like London, New York, Toronto, the ones that are overdone and the ones that just there's like this vibe in the city. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't like it. But there is one book that I do think used the cities to its advantage. And like it kind of needed to have a city in it. It couldn't have really done the same kind of thing if they did it in a small country place. So I kind of get it. And that is The Enemy by Charlie Higson. So this book is about a zombie apocalypse where everybody over the age of 14 has become a zombie. They just turn into zombies one day and start eating each other and kids. And it's really, really intense in that way. And the thing about the city that I liked is that they have to cross the city to meet other kids their age and to get together and to try to survive. There's this one part where this character gets stuck in the sewers and gets stuck in different apartment buildings and different parts of the city, and it's like really, really intense and really well done. And I don't think it would have been the same kind of smack in the face if it had been somewhere more rural. Number 6, a book you wanted to hate but ended up loving. So something I don't particularly like a genre I don't really like, is like contemporary thriller mystery type things and like family sagas. It's just not my thing. If it's your thing, awesome. I'm glad that there's lots of books out there that cover this type of topic, but it's just really not my thing. I just can't get into it. Think like Little Fires Everywhere, Crazy Rich Asians. So this one that I actually really enjoyed, and I didn't expect to enjoy it, was Big Little Lies by Leanne Moriarty. So this book follows a series of wives and their families. I haven't read it in a long time, so I'm going to try to explain it as best as I can. And they're trying to figure out what happened after this specific event. I don't know if it's a spoiler or not. I don't even know if it's in the synopsis. But there's this very specific event that happens, and they're all reeling from this event and trying to figure out their lives afterwards and what to do and where to go from there. And it's also about the past, and it's also about the future, and it's also about motherhood, and it's actually really good. There's also a TV series, I believe, and I watched some of it, and the acting was really good, but some parts were really intense. Like there are some trigger warnings for sexual assault, domestic abuse, violence, all that kind of stuff. So like know that going in if you're going to read the book, and if you're going to watch the show, it just gets really intense in some parts, but it's like really good otherwise. So thank you for watching my very first original book tag. If you would like to do this tag, please let me know, because I definitely want to watch your video. And like leave any comments down below about what books that you like that pertain to these questions, or if there's any of the books that I read that you enjoyed. And yeah, go from there. So yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for watching.